So ever since I've been Allie P. stayed paying.
I kind of love it. I really do. I just want to point out another podcast, another Hawaiian style shirt, or at least, I don't know if it's Hawaiian, it's more tropical. You like it?
I like it a lot.
Yeah?
I love a party shirt.
I
actually am trying to get Zach to wear some party shirts, and he's all for it. But I want to find a party shirt that not everyone has.
Well, I've got a real obnoxious one, and if you're nice to me, I'll wear it next week.
I saw that Walmart has party shirts now, too. And that's why I was like, well, I want to get him a party shirt, but not one from Walmart. Because then everybody's going to have it.
Oh, yeah, that's the reason. Yeah, everybody's going to have it there. And honestly, this is not too crazy. You know, I can't really wear too crazy of a one. So if you're nice to me this week and I wear it next week, I'm probably going to change out of it after the podcast, but it's something.
Why can't you wear it?
All right, I'll wear it next week for the podcast, and then you can tell me, and you'll have to watch on YouTube or Spotify, and you can tell me whether or not you think it's it's suitable for me to wear out places.
Oh, you're saying it's not suitable for work shirt?
Well, it's not like there's dicks all over it or something like that. But
I don't understand why you can't wear your crazy party shirt.
All right, well, I'll wear it next week. You tell me what you think. I mean, it's a little breach of style for me because I'm a little simpler.
Oh, that's why. That's why, because it's stepping out of your comfort zone.
You got it.
I'm also wearing a new shirt. Now, this shirt was given to me by one of our coworkers, and I don't know if she washed it before she gave me this shirt. She did tell me she sprayed this perfume on it because I've been trying to find like the perfect perfume. And so I've been buying all these little samples from Poshmark and Mercari, and they're super expensive. Like the perfumes are expensive. So she said, hey, I know you've been trying to find a scent. So I sprayed one on this shirt. So I don't know if the shirt is like her armpits from before. I really like the shirt. I don't like the smell of the perfume that she sprayed on it.
Well, you could wash it. I honestly thought that the shirt was given to you from the 1990s.
Well, that's what I liked about it. So when I complimented her on it, she gave it to me because she goes, I know you liked this so much.
Yeah, no, it is very nice. What's on it?
Just little flowers.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was pineapples for a minute because it's sort of tough to tell on the camera.
Oh, no.
I guess it is more flowers. Yeah,
just a little more flowers. Now, we're just coming off of very recently the sub that imploded.
Yeah,
right?
it ended well.
Now, if you could tell me one thing that you're not going to go in or on, because I wouldn't go in that sub.
Well, no.
If you
bolted from the outside? Come on.
If you could tell me one thing that you would never go in or on, what would it be?
You know my answer. I love looking at them, but I'll never go in a hot air balloon. If it doesn't have a steering wheel, we're not doing it.
Mine is one time, me and my parents, and my brother too, we were in Arizona and we were doing a bunch of hiking. Well, there was this one particular cave and it was known for being really skinny at this certain spot.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't go past there because I've heard way too many stories of people who go in these caves and they'll shimmy their way in and then can't get out, and then they have to bring a rescue team. And that's my one thing. Like, I will go base jumping, I will go skydiving, I will do all of those things. Those things I will not do.
I understand that. I mean, what a horrific feeling to feel like you're stuck there, you know? I mean,
and that's how you're going to die?
Stuck between the walls. Can you imagine?
Right. You can't breathe. I have a friend who says he will not go on rides that are brought in on those rickety trucks when they come to town.
Carny rides.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He said that's his one thing that he will not go in or on.
That's probably a good idea. I mean, you know, if you can erect a Ferris wheel in 4 hours with one wrench, is that really the best move? I'm just asking.
No.
It's just a thought, you know. It's fun to go to them when you were a kid. You looked forward to them if they were at the church parking lot or wherever, the town park, but it's like, oof.
I also love that when you're a kid, gather fun. I never loved them. As an adult, I still, once in a blue, when you become the cool aunt, it's, Aunt Allie, ride the ride with me.
No.
Then you get on it and you immediately regret your decision.
Yeah. Oh, I had this happen years ago. My buddy Rob and I think we were still in high school, And of course, it was one of these church carnivals up in Buffalo,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And they had
Jesus ain't saving you then.
No, Jesus didn't save me. Let me tell you what happened. So we were on this, and Rob, of course, talked me into it because I'm like, no, I know I'm going to get sick. This is not going to end well. So it was one of these Ferris wheels that went like this, but then the individual little bucket you were in went woo, 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 woo. So you're going woo, 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 around and around.
It's not the witch's wheel. Is it called the spider or something like that?
This was called the whirl and hurl for me. So I got off. I said, Rob, we got to go. I said, I knew it was coming. I made it to the front yard of the person's yard that we parked in front of and puked everywhere. And it was and I was sick for 3 days with motion sickness after that.
Did I ever tell you? Same thing with my dad. My dad rode a ride very similar when he was growing up, and he was on a date with somebody, and he ate a bunch of hot dogs at the carnival. And they get on that ride, and he said he tried to hold it. He threw up all over her.
Oh gosh. Well, it worked out good for the Holy Grail, your mom. She ended up getting them.
Oh yeah. Oh. It's funny. I think I know the person's name, and any time this person's name gets brought up, my mom's like, I'll give it a fake name, Sue Smith. I hate Sue Smith.
Let me ask you a question. Is there ever a time where you can throw up on your partner, and I'm talking early in a relationship or early, maybe even in dating, where it would actually be the other person would be like, I get it, and not hold it against you? Or is a Pocahontas going to be, that's it?
So one time I was dating this person. I spent the night at his house, and the bed was against the wall. So we had went out, and this was, I think I was in my late 20s, and I drank too much, and I went to climb over top of him to go to the bathroom because I knew what was coming. And I ended up puking right on him. And it's so funny because he hated puke so much. Like if he hears puking, he starts puking. So then he has to throw up. He was furious. I'm like, you can't be mad at me. It's not like I did it on purpose. He's like, you could have moved faster. I'm like, I tried.
Well, I mean, most of the time, a throwing up session is not on purpose. I mean, there are some times that they are. That's a different condition we're not getting into right now. But, that's why I'm asking, like, could you get past it if something happened? Like, you drank too much. I mean, you did it together.
Right.
The hot dog thing, I mean, I would almost look at that and be like, wouldn't you kick into the mode of wanting to be nurturing and be like, let me get you home? Obviously, that was a bad idea on our part.
I would. I have nothing makes me sick. Like I have an iron stomach. So just yesterday, I'm on the phone with my friend Sonia, and she is talking about how she's walking my dog. And just to give you a little history, Sonia can't stand like puke and things like that. So years ago, Sonia had a cat. The cat, this sound. The cat was like,
yeah.
The cat threw up. I cleaned it up for her, and she has 2 kids, but she can't stand the sound, the sight of puke, nothing.
Yeah. We work with a friend that we've known for years that is the exact same way. Although he is the exact same way that cannot handle if someone else throws up. Yeah. However, is the loudest thrower upper you've ever heard in your life. And by the way, why? And since we're on the subject of barf, and I'm not trying to turn you all off on the podcast, please like and subscribe. But I will say this. Why do women, and I think we've talked about this once on the show, women are the most delicate barfers. You guys cough puke. You're like, whereas a guy, it's the loudest production you've ever heard in your life. You would think my head's going to spin right off and it's just going to be a vomit volcano.
I don't think I am. No, I am not a quiet puker.
Louder?
Well, and so yesterday, Sonia, she was talking about how my dog was eating his crap. She's like, I couldn't get it in time. I couldn't pick up his poop fast enough. And as she's telling me the story, she's like,
all the gross things in this podcast.
She's like, I think I'm going to throw up. And she's like, I'm sorry. She said as she's gotten older, she can puke at a drop of a dime.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, something so small like that makes her so sick.
Weird.
I know.
For me, it was like heights. I don't like cleaning my gutters anymore. Her, it's just like insta-puke.
Honestly, at the beginning of a relationship, back to your question, coming full circle.
Yeah.
I don't think that I would, if we were just starting to date, that would turn me off and I might ghost you then. But
wouldn't it be situational if it was something where if you drug me on the ride, all right, We
Yeah.
went to Seabreeze.
Yep.
It's a amusement park up in Rochester for those that don't know, but we went to Seabreeze.
Yep.
And I didn't do well. You drug me on. You're like, no, come on, we got to do it. And of course, what do I want to be? I want to be the guy that wants to be like, I can do this with you. No guy wants to be like, I can't do this with you. I mean, unless it's crazy, like jumping out of an airplane, you do that yourself, or going in a hot air balloon. But so you drug me on the ride. I think it's called the Rabbit is the roller coaster up there.
Oh, okay.
And you drug me on the Rabbit and I didn't fare well. That's really your fault. If I puke afterwards, you are responsible to care for me.
Yeah, that's where I think that's fine. I have cleaned up puke from a friend. It doesn't bother me. I think though now, even in the 4 years into my relationship, if I threw up literally on him, whether it's a ride, a bar that we went to and I had too many drinks or whatever, I still think that he's going to be mad for days for a reason that I think you're right. I can't help it.
Yeah.
But there's something about puke that makes people mad. And I don't know why. It doesn't make me mad. I'm like you. I'm like, okay, I'll clean it up. No big deal.
Well, I mean, I'm not first in line to go clean it up unless it's, one of my kids. That doesn't bother me at all.
No, I totally would be first in line. I feel like that's a good friend.
Ellie's like, oh, what did they have for dinner?
No, I'm there to hold your hair. I've watched people puke and I'm like, oh, get it out, girl.
Oh, that's love right there.
It really is.
That's love. So,
I think so too.
Again, was it intended to go really gross with the podcast? No, but I do feel there are people that would leave a relationship just because you had the vom. And I'm looking at it going, it has to be what got me to that point.
That is so superficial.
Well, I agree with you on that. I completely agree with you. Give me a minute because I came across something. I'm going to let you fill in the blanks. Okay. And anybody listening or watching can fill in the blanks with us. Does that sound okay?
Sounds good.
We'll do that next.
I don't know if you know this or not, but Junior, my Shih Tzu Lhasa Apso, he's a rescue. And that's why I love and believe wholeheartedly in the Chemung County SPCA. There's just so much love to give. There's so many doggies and kitties who need a good home. But did you know the Chemung County SPCA does way more than that? They do spay and neuter clinics, vaccination clinics. They even have a pet food pantry. What this is say, for instance, you get a little down and out on your luck and you don't have enough money to feed your dog or cat. You can go to them and they will give you puppy or kitty food. I should say dog or cat food. And they will give you some food and some treats to get you through. It's equal love. That's what it is. The other thing that's great is we as a community are always so helpful with each other. Sometimes there's things that the SPCA needs. It might be bleach or blankets or washcloths. Follow them on social, Chemung County SPCA, because there might be something that you can give because you never know. It might need to come back to you. Either which way, follow them on social. And next time you need a dog or cat because you need some extra love in your life, well, hit up the Chemung County SPCA. Usually I say no pain, no gain, but not in this case. Oh my gosh, my booty was hurting. I have been talking about this for months. My sciatic nerve has just been on fire and I couldn't figure out, well, how do I fix this? And that's when I discovered Horseheads Acupuncture and decided I'm going to give it a try. I didn't even feel the needles whatsoever. Now, you might not have sciatic issues, but if you have muscle pain, anxiety, even depression, acupuncture can treat all of that. If this is speaking to you and you want to give acupuncture a try, then text the word ACU, ACU, to the number you know so well, 71231, to see how you can get a discount on your first treatment, whether it's acupuncture, cupping, or massage. Robert from Horseheads Acupuncture spent about 2 hours with me, not only going over my treatment, cupping, and massage. He was ready to get to the root of the problem. If that's how you are feeling right now, you just want to get to the root of the problem, then try Horseheads Acupuncture right in Hanover Square and text the word ACU, ACU, to 71231. All right, I'm ready to fill in the blanks.
Okay. Found this and I thought this is great, okay? So this is the fill in the blank marriage edition. Now, I know technically you're not married yet, but you're looking for the house together. You're fully expecting once that's done, the ring's going to come out and then things move, right?
He blatantly said that the other day. His boss
Really?
His boss was like, why haven't you put a ring on it yet? And he's like, well, we're trying to find a house first. I'm like, we have to go in that order, I guess.
That's a huge step, though. That's a huge step that he actually said that.
Oh, yeah. I've heard him say it before. I'm just like, whatever.
Oh,
right. We had another, and I'll on a different podcast, maybe next week's, I'll tell you about our argument with the wedding that I have to break Zach a little bit. I need to break him down.
God.
I'm serious. Okay, go ahead.
All right. So now obviously not being married yet, but long-term relationship, fill in the blank.
Yep.
If I buy one more blank, my husband/wife is going to kill me. Pretend he's your husband.
Okay, so if I'm buying it, not for what he would buy, right?
If I buy one more blank, my husband is going to kill me.
Okay, tumblers.
Really?
Yes, I have a ton. I know I only use like the main 3, but for some reason, if I see it and I love it, it's got a cute quote. I have way too many tumblers.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
All right. If my husband or wife leaves out their blank for everyone to see one more time, I'm going to leave them.
Let me think of something. I'm not the one that leaves stuff out. He's the one that leaves stuff out. So I gotta.
Well, this is actually asking if they do it. If my husband or wife, in this case, you can answer for him, leaves out their blank for everyone to see one more time, I'm going to leave them.
Hockey equipment. We actually got in a fight about this the other day. I said,
There's always a ton of it.
If I trip over your hockey equipment one more time, it is. And Scott, there's not just one bag. There's 2.
Yeah, always 2. There's always 2 hockey bags. My brother Gary, I've told you this.
Oh my God.
A popcorn fart away from 70 if he's not already. I think this summer. And 2 hockey bags. He still plays hockey, by the way, which is impressive.
I can't believe that.
Yeah. Oh, he's good. And it's 2 bags, 18 sticks. What? They're not golf clubs.
Oh yeah. The sticks, don't even get me started on the sticks. So behind the garbage can is at least 10. I'm like, why do you need 10? Well, when this one breaks, and that one's an old one, but I still use it sometimes in practice. I can't stand it. And that's why the house that we've been looking for, I'm like, there has to be a place for your hockey equipment.
I think that's a great idea. That's a very good plan. Have it for, and a spot for your tumblers.
Yeah, well, I know. I get it. But at least mine are... Okay, mine are useful. That's the way I look at it.
My husband or wife, depending on how you're answering, loves to play with my blank when I'm not home.
Loves to play with my
blank when I'm not home. This is starting to sound like an old match game.
Yeah, it does. Dog.
Nobody plays with your dog. Your dog doesn't do anything except sleep.
He can. He will a little bit. You give him 3 tosses and he's done.
That's the answer?
There's nothing else. What else would he play with?
Do you think he plays with anything of yours while you're gone? And maybe you shouldn't answer that.
Yeah, no.
Maybe you should smell it before you use it next time.
It's hard too because I practically live out of a suitcase. So I don't have a lot of stuff at his house.
I got you. Okay. The first thing my husband or wife says to me when I walk in the door is...
Hey, babe.
Apparently you don't like that.
Or it'll be Allie Pea Stain Pain.
You have a nickname, Pea Stain Pain?
This has been a new thing. I don't know why Zach has been calling me Allie Pea Stain Pain. I did not pee my pants. It might have to do with the thing we talked about on the show where my bodysuit went in the pee and I had to absorb it with the toilet paper and then re-snap my bodysuit, and then it was really soggy down there.
Oh, soggy bottoms.
So ever since I've been Allie Pea Stain Pain.
I kind of love it. I really do. All right, you want one more?
Yes.
The other night, I caught my husband or wife blank while I was asleep.
Eating the entire pan of brownies.
So damn innocent. Did he really, though?
He has the worst sweet tooth. Yeah, He doesn't do it. Scott, he watches Civil War videos on YouTube all night. Like, I caught him doing what? Eating brownies and watching
Civil War?
Like, he really is pretty ass boring. Like, I wish it was more exciting than that, but it's not.
I guess not. I
mean,
was hoping for a more exciting answer. I really was.
There's got to be one exciting person in the relationship and the other person is not. I'm the exciting one.
I'm seeing this.
He is not.
Yeah. I'm seeing also where he gets annoyed.
For what?
Well, just in general, the excitement sometimes can be a lot for people.
Well, especially when one's up here and one's down here.
Yep.
We have a hard time meeting in the middle.
Yeah, I understand that.
Okay.
That's it.
How do you feel about the name Hector?
Well, it's a town near us.
No. The name for a person. How do you feel about the name Hector?
Okay. I feel that it fits certain ethnic
cultures?
Culture. Thank you. That's a word. Yes. Ethnic cultures better than others. If I changed my name to Hector Free, I don't think
I don't
anybody,
hate it.
nobody's going to be, they're like, no, you're not. But there are, do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. You do not look like a Hector.
I don't
freak.
look like a Hector.
No,
I mean, I'm
no.
bald, but I don't have a big cross right here. So
Back in the day, I went to a church out of Cleveland, and there is a family with a prominent name, Hector. And actually, Hector made one of my mattresses. The mattress before the one that I have now came from Hector. Hector made it.
like first name Hector.
His first name is Hector. Okay. So
Was he of a certain ethnic?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Yes, he is. And so is the family. So I was catching up with one of my girlfriends from this church. So this particular church is known for having a large Puerto Rican population.
Gotcha.
Okay. So she was telling me
In the front pew, there's Hector, there's Angel, there's carry on.
Yes. And so I saw that she is having a baby. And so I was catching up with her. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're pregnant again. This is so exciting. Da, 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 da. And it's their last one. So she does have 2 other kids. And she says, my husband is insisting on the name Hector. Her husband is a Hector.
Yeah.
Her dad is a Hector, or his dad is a Hector. His grandfather is Hector. Everyone is Hector. And she's like, I hate the name Hector.
Does she think that it's too old of a name? I mean, it doesn't ring young like a Tyler. You know what I mean?
And she was like, that's going to be so confusing because everybody's Hector.
No,
And she's like,
no.
it's confusing now. Every time I say Hector, then everybody turns. I don't want my kid to be Hector. He doesn't need to have the name. And so she goes, I said Joshua. Very biblical
How
name.
about Joshua Hector?
Okay.
There's your compromise, because I can tell you it's not going to be confusing. My family, I love them to death. Not the most original. It's my brother Jim, his son Jim, now his grandson Jim.
Did you know that's Zach's family too? Zach's dad is Jim. His brother is Jim. He has a cousin Jim.
Once you get on the Jim kick, we had an Uncle Jim. He kicked it a couple years ago. God bless him. But it was like just a Jim waterfall. I'm like, you're like, oh.
All I can think is step into a Slim Jim.
Yeah, right. If it's a family name, it's going to be that. But maybe Joshua Hector, maybe she could get him to compromise. That might be your out.
Or you call him Hector. Okay. Or it's Hector Joshua, but you call him Joshua. Because she said, shouldn't the naming of a kid be both of us coming to a name? But she said that he's so adamant. And she's like, especially because we know this is our last kid. This is our last boy. No more. And he's like, I don't want to end the Hector name. And she's like, but I do. I hate the name Hector.
Compromise it. See if they'll do it in the middle. Now, your friend will have to do that too. She'll have to be like, okay, fine.
So I still think Hector Joshua, because I think her husband's going to want the first name to be Hector. So Hector, I think Hector Joshua, but just call him Joshua, which is totally going to piss off his dad and grandpa, because that is such a what is that? What's the word when you're like, oh, I'm Hector?
Proud?
Yeah. That's not the word I'm looking for, but that's, they're definitely very proud of this family name.
I would, if I were her, I would go at it and I would say, I know you want Hector. I don't want Hector. I adamantly don't want Hector, but I will compromise with you. And I will say that it can be Joshua Hector. She has to stand her ground on that.
Or Hector Joshua, but just always call him Joshua.
No,
And
you can't put it
the
first.
Hector is silent.
Then he wins. The Hector is silent. Well, it reminds me, it's a unique name. Again, culturally, maybe not so much.
I don't like the name either.
But I'll give you another name. I will never forget, and I've never met a person with this name ever since I knew this one person.
What?
My dad, 100 years ago. Now, my dad used to write technical publication manuals for an aerospace company, right? And there were artists that would actually work alongside with him that would do some of the graphic stuff, before a lot of the computer things that we have now and all that stuff. It was a really interesting time. And one of the graphic designers, who actually, when I was a little kid, used to draw pictures for me, like, he was a great artist. Like, it would be like an elephant and this, and I miss him. I don't know where they all went.
Adorable.
His name was Emil.
Wait, say it again?
Emil.
Can you spell that?
Nope. I don't know how to spell it.
Amel, like with an L, A-M-E-L?
I don't remember. I think, or was it an E? Emil. I've never met another
but there's
Emil.
an L at the end because,
Yes.
because...
Or maybe there was an E at the end. It could have been A-M-A or A-M...
A-M-O-E?
Amel, A-M-L. I don't know.
Okay,
I
but
don't
I'm
know.
saying are you saying an L in there?
Yes, there's
Amol?
Amol.
Okay, because
I think it ends on the L. Maybe a silent E, like that silent Hector.
because the guy, the Corning Incorporated, the guy who's like the head guy,
Yeah.
Mr. Houghton, was Amo.
Oh, he was Amo.
Yes.
No, this is Amol. Not Amol. Amol.
I couldn't do Amol either.
No,
I'm
yeah.
so glad Zach and I are not having kids because if he came to me
Oh,
and
I
was
want to
like,
see a little Hector Amol running around. That would be. Please. You know, no. What?
Hector Amol, ha!
I could also go with this. Tell me if I get back in the dog game, okay? Because
to buy a dog.
yeah, right. You know,
Okay.
or adopt, whatever the case may be.
you
You know, I mean,
should.
I'd love to have a pug again, but whatever it was, Hector would work for the dog. That'd be kind of cool.
Hector, I feel like is a
Hector
dog.
the pug.
No, Hector would either be a Chihuahua.
Of course. Now we're culturally hitting that.
No, I just think that Hector would be a cute little Chihuahua name.
Okay. All right.
Amol would be. What's the long, like, is it Cavalier? The long.
Oh, yes, with the long ears.
Yes, yeah. I think the dog's name has to fit the dog.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And again, the kid's name has to fit the kid.
Yes.
Hector
Yeah.
is not a name for all ages.
No,
and
I
by
agree with that.
I don't mean like, 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean like spans of time.
Right. Well, that's why I say it can work in the middle name because middle names can be a little bit more throwbacky or they can have, heritage. How many Esthers and Ethels do you meet nowadays? But it could use it as a middle name if it was a family name like a grandmother you loved.
Yeah,
you know?
because my grandmother was Edith and my cousin is now, they call her Edie.
Well, that's cute.
Right, because Edith, really?
Oh, yeah.
It's terrible.
All
I'll
right.
tell, but I bet you her father-in-law is going to be so pissed to not have Hector as the main name.
You're going to have to update us on this. Are you going to suggest what I suggested?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I brought it up on the podcast.
Let us know where you think it'll go. She's going to have to bend a bit. I really believe she's going to have to bend a bit, but she has to hold her ground when it comes to first versus middle. That's my final thought on the whole. That's my final thought.
Thank you, Jerry
I'm so
Springer.
important.
Yeah, thank you, Jerry Springer.
Yeah, right.
My final thought is, R.I.P. Scott and I actually have a meeting in 9 minutes that we have to drive to, so I think
About right. We got to hit the hammer on the floor.
we got to hustle, so we're going to have to come back next week. I'll give you an update if I have an update on that. But other than that, have a great week.
Yeah, enjoy.
Bye.